Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington. My name is Gail Curran, and I am pleased to serve on the Board of Trustees. Unitarian Universalism is a faith that believes that great good comes from wide diversity. Here at UUCA, we strive to be a community that welcomes all, regardless of who you are, whom you love, whatever your background, your beliefs, or your abilities or disabilities, both seen and unseen. We are very glad that you're here this morning. I hope you noticed on the way in all the beautiful flags to commemorate Pride Month and the wonderfully cheerful rainbow crosswalk in honor of LGBTQ plus folks everywhere. We also want to bring your attention to the important annual and now national holiday of Juneteenth, to be celebrated on Monday, commemorating the freeing of enslaved African Americans in 1865. African Americans have celebrated this holiday for many years, so it is fitting that it is finally acknowledged as a national holiday worthy of celebration by all. You will see in your order of service a notice for Juneteenth celebration that's being held this afternoon. So whether you're a longtime member of the church, a once-in-a-while attendee, or a visitor for the first time, you are welcome. We hope you find here with us the inspiration and community you are seeking.
Gail, thank you so much for that welcome, and Jesse for I was bopping along with our prelude, our gathering music this morning, and a happy Father's Day to the fathers who are with us this morning. We are glad you are spending part of your day with us. Indeed, I am glad that all of you are spending part of your day with us, and I want to invite you in this moment to turn to someone near you, especially someone you don't yet know, and say hello this morning. Good morning.
I hope you continue to say good morning and hello after service today, too. This morning's call to worship was crafted by Michelle LaGrave. We gather together. We arrive as individuals, as couples, as families, as neighbors, as friends. We got here by walking, biking, riding, driving, by connection. What brings with us? Our joys, our sorrows, our laughter, our tears, our worries, our fears, our questions, our beliefs, our ethics, and our values come with us. Some of us arrived early this morning Some of us joined just 10 minutes ago. Some of us just are coming through the door. Some will arrive later and still come in and be welcomed, because some of us belong and all of us want to be here. We are sitting in pews, leaning on walkers or canes, stretching into the aisle, settled in a wheelchair, relaxing with friends. Here, members, friends, visitors, everyone comes from many paths, joins together in community and worship, wants to lift up our highest ideals as we build community. We have gathered, we have arrived, we are here. Come, let us join in this sacred space together this morning.
Each morning, we light a candle of compassion in solidarity with those around the world who are experiencing loss, violence, grief, loneliness. This morning, I light it as well for all who are experiencing the varied effects of natural disaster and climate change around our world, which we have felt in a particular way the last couple of weeks, as some of us have struggled to breathe the very air around us. May we hold all those whose lives and homes are at risk as we commit ourselves to work together. And we join with Unitarian Universalists around the globe in lighting our chalice this morning. I invite you to join me in our chalice lighting words found in your order of service. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world. I invite you now to rise in body or in spirit to sing hymn number 389, but all the lyrics are in your order of service, so you don't even need your hymnal. Come on up, and I think we're going to sing this twice through. Is that right? That's Liz, as Liz leads us from the chancel.
Our chalice is very fiery.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
I would like to invite my younger friends to come up and join me on the chancel if you would like to. Sometimes we tell a story on Sunday mornings, and sometimes we act out a story even. Hi, Lilu. And today I'm wondering if you might like to kind of play a game with me and with, oh, hi, Martile, I love your heart. And I think with Rev CTC too. Rev CTC is going to help us out as well. And I see we brought a heart and is that a bus or a truck? It's a car and a clipboard. I do love a clipboard. Love a good organizational tool. And a heart, yes, absolutely. And we brought each other, which is perfect. So Rev CTC, You didn't, did you bring yourself? Well, then high five, you brought yourself. Awesome. So a few weeks ago, Rev CTC and I brought ourselves to what would you say? It's like a race or like gym class?
It's like gym class in the mud.
It's like gym class in the mud. Rev CTC and I and a bunch of other ministers, we had gym class in the mud. We're just doing intros up here, I think. It's
yes.
intro
That's
time,
what it is.
which is awesome. That's what you should do at church, is introduce yourselves to people.
She's spelling.
And as part of that,
There were no hula hoops.
there were no hula hoops.
No, there were not.
No, but there were trenches,
Yes.
and there were really tall walls we had
Yes.
to climb over, and there were ropes and all kinds of things, and we did a bunch of obstacles in the mud. We don't have mud today. However, we do have hula hoops. So I'm
Yes.
wondering,
They made a date.
yeah,
It's-
I think
it's
that's,
a- oh,
that's cool. Do you want
that's
to go
fine.
sit with, no, you're going to stay.
You're
Okay,
staying,
either way,
okay.
that's good. And I'm wondering if you all would do an obstacle with me. Are you up for trying it? If you would like to be a watcher for this obstacle, that's perfectly fine too. If you would like to be a participant for this obstacle, come on here and make a line and hold hands with the person next to you. So you can be a watcher, that's 100% great. We need people to cheer the other people on. Or you could be a participant. Would anybody like to be a participant?
Yeah, you want to do it. Go.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so just make a long line. Hold hands. Can you hold hands
It's easy,
with each other?
I think.
Yeah, you got it. Come on in.
Yeah, there
we
you go. Get in there.
Little, yep. Are you,
Yeah.
are you watchers?
What's the obstacle?
You gonna cheer? Here's the obstacle.
Some of us want to know what's the obstacle, Amanda.
Okay, here you go.
Okay.
I need this hula hoop to get to the other end with no hands being broken. Do you think that they can do it?
I think so.
The grown-ups think they can do it, and my friend with the clipboard is like, no. It is not gonna happen. Which is sort of how Rev CTC and I felt about some of the obstacles that we did. We looked at them and we thought,
said, no.
No, it is not gonna happen.
And we were watchers.
We were watchers.
Yes,
Sometimes
we
we were
were.
watchers,
Sometimes
we were
we were,
participants. Okay,
yes.
ready? Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Somebody's on it.
Somebody's
okay,
on
let's
it.
see.
You can do
You can
it.
help each other out. Don't drop hands. You can help each other out. Yep.
That's it,
Yep.
that's it.
Yes.
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 Oh,
Whoa.
Last
Here we go.
one.
Okay. Yep.
Help. You can
Yep.
help.
We
Come
might
on.
need a little. Okay, pull your
Lift.
other. Maybe your.
Just-
Can you help her
can
out?
you
Pull
help
your
her
other
out?
foot.
Lift
Put
it.
your other
There you
foot
go.
through. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
good.
Yeah. Yes.
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 Can we step through? Can you put your feet over? Can you
Just
step
gotta
over?
put your feet over.
Yes.
Yes, put your
Yes.
feet over it. Yes.
That
High
was
five.
actually a very accurate description of what it was like. Just imagine this was 13 Unitarian Universalist ministers. Same thing. Great job with your obstacles. Here's what we do.
Excellent.
Fist bump, fist bump,
Fist bump.
fist bump, fist bump. Yeah. Fist bump for the watchers. Anybody? Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump, fist bump, fist bump. Lila, what do you think? Fist bump, right there. Yes, everybody helped.
Oh, the
fist
watchers are
bump. All right,
important.
I'm gonna take this back. Thank you so much. And we are going to invite our awesome team to go to their classes and sing them on their way.
Thank you all. I thought you were gonna hula hoop.
I was not gonna hula hoop, no.
You still
I
have a
can't-
chance.
I can't hula hoop. I don't know how.
You don't know how to hula hoop?
No, ma'am.
It's all in the hips.
Here we go. We're almost ready to sing them on their way. Walk slow, kids.
Walk slow. Peace to you.
Wonders of the world.
What an amazing team of kids. And Rev CTC, don't think we didn't just see you also successfully go through
Successfully.
the hula hoop.
Yes, I did.
This morning, as we come into a time of prayer and meditation, a time of centering, I'd like to share the words of Amy Jones in what she titles a Father's Day prayer. So I invite you first to just settle yourself in your seat. Take a breath, if you will. Loosen your limbs. Be here, now. Today is Father's Day, so we take this moment to hold space for all that might mean to us. We hold love for those who have lost fathers, and for those fathers who have lost children. We acknowledge and hold non-binary, transgender, and cisgender dads in families made of two dads, foster and adoptive dads, and single dads. We hold and work to lift up all fathers of color and those fathers raising children of color. We hold fathers kept apart from their children by borders and war. We hold fathers and children who have lost connection, children who have been disowned or abandoned by their fathers, and the father figures who step in. We hold those longing to become fathers. We hold those who may be full of questions about their biological fathers. Most importantly, we hold and thank the dads, the papas, the daddies, and all who show up every day to give their all to the children who need them. Human relations are complicated. These days of recognition are complex. Take a moment to breathe in what serves you and breathe out what does not. Breathing in and out. Here now, amidst the spirit of life.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come
Each week, this congregation gives 70% of monies collected during our Sunday collection to an organization whose values resonate with our own. This month, as we celebrate Pride, we share our plate with Equality Virginia. Equality Virginia works across the state of Virginia, working for bills that protect the LGBTQIA community and against bills that jeopardize or harm them. And I know I don't need to tell you that there are many of those bills all around the country and in Virginia as well, going up day after day and week after week as legislators seek to legislate our bodies, our children's bodies, and our collective community safety. You can read more about Equality Virginia on the back of your order of service. I invite you to give generously to their work and to the ongoing work of UUCA. You can give by cash or check or credit card. There's a QR code. I'm sure by now you can figure out a way to give, and we are grateful for however you are able to give and however much. Will the ushers please receive your gifts as we receive gifts of music?
Tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world turning inside out, yeah, and floating around in ecstasy. So don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time, having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaning through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm tearing up the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic one out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. I don't wanna stop at all. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Dr. Fahrenheit. I'm driving at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic one out of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Woo, woo, woo. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Dr. Fahrenheit. I'm driven at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic one out of you. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Woo, woo, woo. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
a collection or a party. Come on up, ushers. All right. As our ushers come up, I invite you to find our offering blessing in the order of service so that we might share our gratitude for these gifts. You can stay right there. That's perfect. We're good. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. Thank you so much, ushers, and thank you for your generosity. And now, in what is, I think, our final 75th anniversary testimonial, I am so delighted that we will hear from Chris Gregory about the Day Alliance. I'm going to move this down slightly, and you are good to go.
I think the last time I stood on this platform was 1990 when we were installing Joan Gelbine as our associate minister. By the time the Arlington Fellowship of the DC All Souls Unitarian Church became the Unitarian Church of Arlington, the Day Alliance was already organized and active. They were meeting monthly in the homes of members for lunch and a program. In January 1949, the Women's Night Alliance was organized for career women and mothers who couldn't attend daytime meetings. This group also met in homes until the fall when Reeb Hall was ready for occupancy. By 1949, the men had organized a chapter of the Unitarian Laymen's League. They met in the evening over at Reeb Hall, and the Day Alliance cooked their dinner. What can I say? It was the 50s. The Evening Alliance and the Laymen's League dissolved in the mid-70s. The Laymen's League folded when the women serving the meals declined to continue.
That's my favorite part of this story.
Subsequently, the Day Alliance opened its membership to men. All three of these groups played a prominent part in managing, sustaining, and furthering the church and its activities. They were the real movers and shakers in the early days. Besides the leadership and women power, the Alliance made many contributions to the physical plant, starting with a 10-burner stove in the old Reeb Hall kitchen. The list is way too long to cover, but I'll just mention a few things. They bought the dishes over at Reeb Hall, and some of those are still downstairs in the activity room kitchen. And we also paid for the air conditioning study for the sanctuary. We reupholstered the original pews that were here. They were sort of a cranberry color. We upgraded, we got the power doors for handicap accessibility. We got the 150 sets of Corel dishes and flatware, and much, much more. We also had a budget for outside social causes. We contributed to such entities as Doorways for Women and Children, Arlington Free Clinic, UUCA Peace Camp, Beacon House, AFAC, Courtney's House, Alive, the Torrell Floyd Scholarship Fund, which was administered through Arlington Community Foundation, and more. Culpeper Garden was a frequent recipient. There was the Tom Floyd Aging and Dignity Fund, and we donated $10,000 for 243 place settings for their dining room. Looking at past records, I found a total of over $68,000 that we contributed since to the UUCA and charities since 2005. These were all funded by dues, bake sales, holiday nut and snack sales, cookbook production and sales, craft fairs, and sponsors events. We also received memorial gifts as members died, the largest of which was from Alice Blanchard, who left us a bequest of $25,000 with no strings attached. Alice came from that generation that killed themselves with the annual bazaar and other fundraisers. She left this money to us, hoping that the interest from it would fund, along with our dues, would fund our donations, and we'd never have to have fundraisers again. But unfortunately, right after we got the donation, interest rates went sliding down, and her dream of no more fundraising never came to fruition. For years, the Day Alliance did memorial service receptions for church members at a very minimal cost. The Alliance was also about fun. Back in the days, we used to have 2 bus trips, chartered bus trips, but the centering event was always the monthly luncheon with the speaker. And that offered programs, sociability, and fellowship to any person who wanted to attend. A committee of 4 in the olden days prepared the luncheon, but as our membership aged, and at one point when Alice Blanchard died, the average age was 85, we experimented with people bringing their sandwich from home, and Day Alliance provided lunch, dessert, and drink. However, that didn't pan out so well, so we hired a caterer, and then we needed to have 45 people for lunch in order to cover the caterer's costs. With changing lifestyles and not enough volunteers to staff the board, we voted to disband. Our last meeting was December 10th, 2019. So it was a good run while it lasted, 71 years.
This morning's reading is a bit of a warm-up for the sermon, which, as you guys know, is about the mutter experience. This reading is called Feeding the Pit. Part of the advantage of having an elevator being installed 2 feet from my office door is that I can easily listen in on the construction crew's conversation. It echoes up from 2 floors below. It rings down the hallway, and in between the drilling, the chain rattling, the pounding, and the sawing, there's some helpful theological reflection. This particular conversation occurred between a man who was balanced on a 45-degree ladder over a 3-story open elevator pit, and the man who was assisting him. The man on the ladder, who gave me a greater appreciation for having been called to the ministry, asked for 4 bolts. His colleague said, "I'll give you 5. You know, you need 1 to feed the pit." Now, I can only surmise that this wisdom had been hard-won. People who work over great cavities of open air have probably learned through experience about gravity. Objects fall. They will fall a great distance when there's nothing to stop them. Ergo, if you're going to suspend yourself over a deep pit, don't assume everything will go perfectly. Don't assume that a nut or a bolt won't roll away. Assume additional resources will come in handy. Acknowledge the challenging nature of the assignment. Take a relationship with the pit where you willingly and gracefully that it will occasionally need to be fed. The alternative is simply too costly. To assume that things will always go smoothly, that hammers won't drop, that nails won't bend, that parts won't wander, is to place yourself in special danger, especially when your workplace is at the top of a ladder suspended over a 50-foot drop. But we know pits are real. Some places in human existence pose genuine danger. Illness, conflict, and accidents can quickly take everything that we hold precious. Some people advise this: don't look down. Pretend that nothing bad will ever happen to you or to anyone you love. This is the ignore the pit school of thought. Another popular option, decry the pit. Isn't it terrible that there are pits in the world? Isn't it awful that some of us fall into them? Many allegedly smart people have spent their entire lives arguing about why pits exist and justifying how offended and angry they are in dangerous places in the world. But some others become profoundly cynical when they discover how painful a pitfall can be. Oh, what's the use, they sigh. With so much destruction and unhappiness in the past and so much possible misery in the future, why should we build anything up at all? These people can be paralyzed with fear of the pit. At the moment, I'm drawn to the simple teaching of the elevator man. Feed the pit. Right from the beginning, expect to encounter danger and demons and difficulties. And there will be delays on the journey too. I think what we have to do is build a generous contingency fund into any and every life plan and carry a few extra rations of energy, of kindness, of hope and love in our pockets so we can feed this continually hungry and, yes, unpredictable world. Sometimes you have to feed the pit. Yes. What are we going to do now?
Well, let's see. It's pretty hot in here.
Oh,
So I think we should
should we?
get more comfortable
Okay.
and help people to get a little bit
Should
of a
we get ready?
sense
I'm ready.
what the mutter was like. Jesse, as we move our chairs, would you mind just reprising that
just
opening
some-
hymn for us?
Some mutter music.
Thank you. All right, a little bit of mutter music.
Little bit of mutter
Here we go.
music.
A little mutter
Okay.
music. All right.
No, that's not the mutter music.
Yeah, no, that's it.
It is?
Yeah.
I thought it was the faster music. You're strong.
Dear, draw near, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near.
All right, thank you. I think of that as mutter music because we sang that
We did.
on
On the trail.
on the trail.
On the
You
path.
have to imagine, don't have to imagine. Go to the front of your order of service,
And there's a
you can see the
picture.
picture of the 13 Unitarian Universalist ministers who
Yes.
did this particular mutter
For the second
in
time.
May for the third time.
the
We
third
got
time.
COVID for the second time.
That's right, for the third time.
For the third time, and you have to imagine everybody else on the mutter trail who are like 20-something.
Yeah.
They're moving.
Well, they're
and
not
we're,
just moving. Okay. So here's what the mutter people say about the mutter. 13 of our famous teamwork-inspired obstacles crammed into 5K, 3 miles of a course. Tough mutter is a fast-paced, team-oriented challenge. It is sure to test you and your friends. Come, crush it. Don't let it crush you.
is that what it says on the website?
Yes, sir.
Don't let it crush you.
Don't let it crush you.
So there we are.
So there we
There
are.
we are with all of the rest of the mutter runners, and there's us, and we're
There's-
singing hymns
Right.
along the way. I'm not making this up.
No, we're singing
We liked
hymns.
that one. We
What else did
liked,
we sing?
Where do we come from? Where are we going?
Where are
that
we
was very
going?
popular.
Yes,
Where
there's
are we
that one.
going? Some
Yes.
obstacle is coming next.
Yes.
Do you
But
want
bigger picture.
bigger picture? Yeah.
So you show up at the mutter, and there are hundreds of people wanting to do the mutter. And they break you into small groups, and they give you a wristband and a start time. And you have to be where you're supposed to be at the start time for your whole group to join into the mutter activity together. The first time we did it, it was on a racetrack, basically. And they-
Motocross.
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 Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. But we didn't vroom, we walked. And there's obstacle to obstacle to obstacles, what happens? And some of them you can do
Sure,
easily,
sure,
over,
sure,
under,
sure.
through.
Through.
Yes.
Yep, some
And
of them. Who said some of them? Some
Some.
of them. That's right.
Some.
You've got it. Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
And
So why did you sign up for the Mutter the first time, Rev CTC?
because you made me.
I don't feel like that is exactly how I remember it going.
Because Amanda's my
But
boss,
it's
and she
possible.
was like, oh, so we could do the mutter, and Rebecca's going to be in it too.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
going to be great. I was like, okay.
Maybe I should say why I did it then.
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Because you're the boss. You
So-
should tell them why.
No, I do not require forced sports engagement on staff. So I was never an athletic person. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. I was the kid that didn't get picked for the team, and they usually put me on outfield, and then because then they could just ignore that I was there, right? And I would sometimes actually growing up I would be on outfield, and I would just use it as an opportunity to practice like musical theater. Because no one was coming near me with the ball anyway, it didn't matter, right? And so, I just did my thing. So I was not,
What is outfield?
like, is that not the right word?
Like which outfield?
Like,
like
I was
right
thinking
field?
about soccer. No.
Center field?
So I'm not
Left.
an athletic person. So when this opportunity,
So when you're out in the field,
when you're out in the field, I'm just
Singing.
saying that I was not near anybody because nobody would bring the ball near me because I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Singing the soundtrack from Cats.
Singing the sound. Well, I don't really like Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Okay.
So when an invitation came from one of our colleagues, Rebecca Savage, who was the original instigator,
The queen of the
came.
mud,
That's
yes.
right. Came to colleagues. It felt like a way to test my limits, to see what I could do, and to practice failing. I actually try to put myself in situations where I know I'm not going to be good at it so that I can stretch and try, maybe get better, and also practice failing. And this seemed like a relatively low-key, low-stakes way to practice failing. And then the night before that, I see you're getting really
Get
already.
ready. Get
The
ready.
night before that first mutter, I thought to myself, this is a terrible idea. I'm going to practice failing in front of all of my colleagues
Right.
whose opinions matter to me, etc. But I went anyway.
I like that. You like to practice failing.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Because we all fail sometimes.
Do we?
We do.
All fail.
And yes.
Sometimes.
And sometimes.
So we have a different opinion about this part. I only do the obstacles I know I can do on the mutter. So part of my progress through it, as people are helping us, and we are really cheering and singing, is to go around the ones that
true.
seem to be filled with imminent failure.
You hold my glasses.
I do. One of my key jobs is holding Amanda's glasses during the mutter. So if you're going to go in the water and under something and come up face full of mud, I'm on the side holding her glasses. Yes, it's true.
So I think that's such a great point because one of the things I often hear from folks saying, "Oh my gosh, I could never do that," and I frequently respond that of that team of 13, some of us did all of the obstacles, some of us did some of the obstacles, and some of us did none of the obstacles.
Some people just walk.
And
Yeah.
just walked and cheered along the side, right? Remember, like our kids who were our
The ones on the
watchers and
side,
our participants and our cheerleaders. We had some of that. And so I think for me, one of the real gifts of the mutter is giving myself permission to choose when am I going to try it
Yes.
and when am I not. And my
And when am I
first
not?
mutter, I tried some, but I didn't try all of them.
Yeah.
And I tried some and failed halfway and bailed
Yeah.
halfway through. I was like, I'm not going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then on my second mutter, I knew a little bit more what I might be able to do.
Well, you did almost all the things on the last mutter.
I did.
right?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Hmm.
But the thing about the mutter is whether you're in it, whether you're doing the obstacle, whether you start one and then you're like, that's too far for me to go, or you're really a cheerleader for the entire obstacle, everybody is in it to win it. There are no losers on the Mudder. There are quite often people who start off in groups, and some of their group is faster than the rest of their group, so they ended up part of our group.
That's true. We did adopt a couple
So we
people.
adopt people along the way. Or our other groups would adopt us if we were a little bit faster. So there's this whole feeling of we're all in the Mudder doing the things together.
That's right.
Does that
but
make
I think
sense?
that's right. But it's one of the real lessons of the Mudder for me is that our team of 13, we chose to move together. So that meant that we moved through our 5K as quickly as the slowest person could
go.
move.
Yes.
We also cheered each other on to see if we could go a little faster sometimes, but we were never going to leave people behind. So
No
that
man
was a
left
big, I was
behind.
thinking after this past Mudder especially, what were the lessons? And one of the lessons for me was we move together. And that's true in a congregation as well, right? We try to move together. Some of us want to be out front doing something. Some of us aren't so sure about it. We got
But
to
the
try
whole
to
pack.
move together. Maybe we're a little spread out along the route, but ultimately we're moving together.
We're
So
all
that was
moving
that was a
together.
big lesson for
It
me.
was a big lesson.
We always move together.
And when you need help, ask for it. So you always end up needing help with something on the Mudder, whether it's your shoe got left back in the mud pit.
That's true. That's
That-
real. That happened.
That's a real thing, losing the shoe.
Yep.
Whether you're just so tired that one of your teammates needs to do both parts of the piggyback carry. So the piggyback carry is supposedly in teams,
I think it's called the hero carry.
the hero carry.
Yeah, because it sounds tougher.
Well, I only got carried, so I didn't feel very heroic. But I think it is the hero carry. But some people just carry people. They don't ever get carried at all. They're the one who just carries somebody from point A to point B, and then they go back to point A and they carry somebody else. But it's that whole idea of we're in it to win it, and we're in it to win it together. That is just pervasive, like in all of the Mudder.
That's right.
Yeah.
That makes me think about one of the other lessons that really was particularly present for me during this Mudder. The first Tough Mudder that Rev CTC and I did was a group of folks who were women and non-binary folks. We didn't have any men with us.
It was this team.
And that was this one.
Yeah,
Team
it's Team
Spirit.
Spirit.
Team Spirit. And then for the UU Prayer Warriors asterisk or meditation, that was this Tough Mudder.
Wait, that one says stuff on the back, doesn't it?
It says Stronger Together on the back.
Stronger together.
For
right.
this one, we had a mixed gender team with women, non-binary folks, and men as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened that the two folks who identified as men in our group were both at least 6 feet tall.
Oh, at
they just
least.
happened to be tall people.
Right.
And I thought a lot. And so what that meant was when we got to the tall obstacles, there's a 9-foot wall, right? And you need to get over the 9-foot wall. Now, I will tell you, the wall is only about 6 feet long, so you could just walk right around it. Or that, as Rev CTC did, while cheering and supporting everybody. Yes, and holding someone's glasses.
Yes.
But if you wanted to go over the wall, and you are my height, and you are not able to I guess you could, you're supposed to be able to run at it and jump
jump
really
and
high
catch the
and then
top
catch it.
and pull
But that was
yourself
not
up.
going to happen.
It's not
That
gonna
did
happen.
for me
No.
personally.
So when we did the wall, we had like the work your way up the wall. So we had somebody down here, like this,
Yep.
and then you had somebody stand on this person's back, and then there was somebody who was already on top of the wall
Right.
to reach down and pull you back up
That's it. And then someone on the
Yes.
other side, so that when
To
you
help
came
you
back down
get-
the other side,
That's
they were
right.
kind of spotting you.
to help you get over.
So, for one of these guys in particular, one of these ministers, his main engagement in many of the obstacles was just helping other people
People over.
over. He didn't have the kind of body that was going to want to go over a lot of those things himself.
Or under.
He just, or under, that's right. He just used what he had, which was a lot of height and kind of a strong frame to help other people over the obstacles. It made me think about how we use our privilege, right? You know, what are the situations in which we happen to hold privilege in that particular space, and how do we use it to really leverage helping other people over whatever obstacles it is that they're facing?
How do you use your powers for good?
That's right. His wife did ask him when he got back, apparently, why he had a shoe print on his, and he said that was from the shoes. That's from people walking on me.
From the shoes
But
that
so that was another lesson. We move together, and we use our power and our privilege to help others over obstacles. Those were two things that that really stood out for me.
So the challenges were obstacles, having to prepare a little bit for it.
Yep.
It was a little scary. Some of them were hard, and some of them were a little bit scary. You should tell them about the
Mutterhorn.
The Mutterhorn. Mutterhorn.
The Mutterhorn, like the Matterhorn. I guess that's a mountain.
Yeah, the Matterhorn is a
But
mountain
this is the
in
Mutterhorn. So I want to start by just noting that I'm not afraid of heights.
I am.
What I'm afraid of is climbing things. So that's real different. And I'm especially afraid of climbing inclines. And the Mutterhorn is a 3-story incline.
Teepee.
Yeah.
It's like a teepee with rope on either side.
Yes, and you climb up the
right,
rope, and
you
there's a
climb up the
net
rope.
behind you, so I don't think you'd fall and die.
And then you swing
but
your leg over.
You might.
Right.
And then you swing your leg over 3 stories up, and then you go down the
have
other
to climb
side.
down the other
And
side.
the first time I did the mutter, that was the obstacle that I couldn't do. I thought about it. I looked at it. I kind of tried to get up to the top. You have to sort of climb on folks to get up to the top if you're my size. And I just decided I couldn't do it. It was toward the end. I was really proud of the things I had accomplished, and I couldn't do it. And I and another colleague both felt that was the one we wish we had tried. You know, we wish we had given it a shot, but we were so worried we would fail, and we just couldn't quite get there.
Yep.
And we were both determined this time to be able to do it.
Right.
And she went and just did it, right? She was like up and over, that was fine. I was still not sure. And so I had another colleague, a friend with me, who said, I'm gonna do it with you. And they climbed right next to me the entire time.
Right.
I did not look down at the
entire
pit.
time. That's good.
I did not look forward. I just turned and looked at my colleague the entire, this is what you have to imagine, the whole time. I'm like this.
And we're down in the
I'm like
pit
this.
going,
I didn't even know
Amanda.
if I was near the top. I'm just
Climb, Amanda.
staring.
Go, Amanda.
And got over,
And you got
and
over
I
it
did.
and
I
came
got
down.
over the side. And so that was sometimes, oh, thanks, that's nice. I was very proud. I actually burst into tears on the other side. I think
was
it's the
wonderful.
adrenaline is real.
Yeah.
But that was a reminder, we move as a team, we use our power and our privilege to help other people over. And sometimes you actually cannot do it by yourself. And that is okay.
Right.
And it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just might mean you need
That
somebody to
testing
do it
your
with
limits.
you. Yeah.
Testing your limits
Yeah,
is important.
that was big for me this time.
If I was going to describe one thing, it would be the one that has electricity shooting through it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what that was called?
No, I don't know.
There's one of the obstacles that I did the first year I did the mutter, that I did not do this recent time. It has electricity literally like shooting through the water and hanging down where you like run through.
It's on the wires.
What's it
You
called?
can avoid it. I don't know. I don't know what it's called.
What's it called? Do you remember?
No.
It's called shock the whatever out of you, is really what it's called. So the first time I did it, I was determined I was going to go through it. And literally, if you were willing to crawl through the water and the mud, you can avoid all of the shocking.
Yes.
All of the shocking.
Stay low.
If you think that you're going to slightly stay dry, you will not avoid the shocking, which is what happened to me the first time. So I'm on the edge trying to stay dry, and it's like my hand is hitting a wire, my knee is hitting a wire, but I made it through to the end and I succeeded. What I learned from that, though, is stay low and watch other people succeed first. So the next time I went to do it, I got low and I just went under everything. I came out like full of mud up to my nostrils, but I didn't end up getting shocked at all. I watched somebody else do it successfully and followed that, followed the way that they did it. So watch someone else is a good way to move through the mother and see how they do it successfully. What, do you have another one?
I have one last one, and then I think we should wrap. I have one last
Okay.
one. And it's my favorite obstacle. So there's a big triangular, it's all water. There's a pit of water. They filled it with water, not mud. And there's a triangular thing, and you need to,
the
you
rolling
cannot
thing.
go under it. You have to go over it. And the first time we tried it, we had, like one of the big folks on the teams, like trying to vault themselves over. They're really athletic. Didn't work. Finally, one of the other teams said to us, "You cannot do this obstacle by yourself. You need to have the whole team. You need at least 5 or 6 people to get through this obstacle."
That's right.
Because you have to have you've got to grab on to the it's like a pyramid, I guess. You have to grab onto it, and then other people need to turn it for you to be able to get over
pull
to
you
the
up
other
and
side to
over.
the other pool of water.
Right,
Impossible to do alone. So I think that's for me, if I would say you move as a team.
These are the
as a team.
takeaways.
That's right. You move as a team.
Nobody gets left behind.
No one's left behind.
No.
You use your power and your privilege to help other
To
people
help
over.
other people, right? You watch people who do it well and imitate them. Watch those who succeed and follow the way that
Yep.
they do it. Yes.
Sometimes you cannot do something alone. You need to have a partner with you.
Sometimes you need help. Yep.
And some obstacles take all of us.
And sometimes you sit on the side.
And sometimes you sit on the side.
And that's okay too, is to be the cheerleader on
Yep.
the side. Yeah. So the question of the day, will you do it again?
I'm signed up.
Aren't you?
October.
Did you give them your money already?
Yes, ma'am.
Signed up. Ready to go.
There you go.
Yes.
Lessons of the Tough Mudders. There we go. Do we have a hymn now?
I think we have a hymn.
I think we have a hymn, and then we have some blessing and some gratitude.
We have blessings and gratitude.
Let's do that hymn. That's hymn 1030. If you rise in body or in spirit, and sing along with us.
Sia Habakkuk yen quen kos, 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 Sia Hamba, Sia Sia Habakkuk yen quen kos, Sia Hamba, Sia Habakkuk yen quen kos. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching. Ooh, we are marching in the light of God.
On this, our last Sunday all together, not the last Sunday of the church year. No, there's one more.
next week.
One of the things we are doing is preparing to go off to General Assembly. General Assembly is like, if you've seen the movie Brigadoon, the gathering of the clans. And the clans are Unitarian Universalist congregations and individuals. This year we are gathering in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, beginning on Wednesday and going through next Sunday. General Assembly is huge. It is all encompassing, and you can't do every single thing. But what you can do in that time is meet UUs from across the country, some from across the globe, follow different classes and tracks that you can bring information back to your congregation. And the biggest thing that I love about General Assembly is you see friends that this is the only time when you get to see them from all over the country, us coming together. So in sending our delegates off, and the size of our congregation means we have 17 delegates?
15.
15 delegates. And every single position is full, which is astounding. All 15 people are either going to participate online or they're going to actually go to Pittsburgh to be part of our delegation. If anyone here right now is a delegate from this congregation, would you please stand, rise, and embody your spirit?
Woo-hoo!
Okay, please remain standing. No, remain standing. Remain standing. UUC delegates, I bless you and your journey. May you be candles in the darkness, shining a light for anyone who stumbles. UUC delegates, UUCA delegates, may you offer love and resistance to anyone who is in need. I hope that you listen intently and deeply, that in this time period you ignore race, class, culture, and all other dividers, that you create spaces that are safe and filled with support. Will the congregation now please repeat after me as we send our delegates on? Delegates,
Delegates,
we send you off
we send you off
with joy, hope, and gratitude.
with joy, hope, and gratitude.
Go forth
Go forth
with our blessing,
with our blessing,
knowing this community
knowing this community
is awaiting your return.
is awaiting your return.
Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated.
All right. Be fun in Pittsburgh.
Fun in Pittsburgh.
Fun in Pittsburgh.
All you all the time.
I would like to invite Sarah Masters to come forward. And, yep. I'm going to ask you to do that again. Well, you can do it now, too. That's good. You know, we could talk about numbers when we think about Sarah's long service at UUCA. We could talk about more than 15 years. We could talk about the thousands of people that she greeted and welcomed. We could talk about the thousands, maybe hundreds of people over the years that she welcomed into membership. But we all know that Sarah is not numbers, but relationships. And that is clear in every person's greeting of her this morning and your gratitude for her. And I hope in the cards that you're writing and in the conversations you'll have as we gather after the service. So Sarah, these are for you. Oh, and they actually amazingly match your dress too. It was very not planned, but fortuitous. And
This is for you.
We have a gift.
It's a little fragile.
Okay.
I'll hold this if you want to show it to people, or do you want to open it later? It's up to you.
It looks hard to open.
A little.
Just rip it.
It's a lot of tape. It's a lot of tape. There you go. You can just tear the paper, but don't drop it. Oh, beautiful. It's a chalice.
Look at that. Little rainbow.
Thank you, Sarah. We are grateful for everything you've done for us.
So this is where I anticipated you all cheering for Sarah, though you got a little ahead of me, but I'm going to ask you to do it again. Sarah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I know that you are going to want to greet Sarah and talk with her, and she's going to be with the cake and fellowship
cake, that's right.
hall, ready for your hugs and your gratitude. And so I hope that we are all going to join in that together as we honor those tens of thousands of relationships, I suspect, that Sarah has created, and the very importance of every individual one to her. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Are we done?
I invite you to extinguish our chalice with us.
I
Will
forgot that.
you?
Yeah, I could do that.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. And I invite all of you to join me in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world.
Benedict?
A church year has nearly ended.
A year when we laughed and cried, mourned and celebrated.
Let us go forth remembering all the moments, sunny and shadowed, holding the love and acceptance offered by this community in our hearts.
We leave this place, but remain connected to each other, to the world, to our faith.
Dear ones, until we are together again, be strong, be well, be true, be loving.
Together, let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.